Okay, let's dive in. It's kind of wild how fast AI is getting at making videos, generating virtual people. Feels like sci-fi, but it's happening now.
It really does, and the pace is just accelerating, it seems.
Totally. So for this deep dive, we've pulled together some really interesting stuff for you.
Ah.
We've got Reddit threads buzzing about it, articles breaking down tools like Kling AI, HeyGen.
Also, AI, NotebookLM, and even updates on Google's big AI models like Gemini.
Exactly. So what we want to do today is kind of cut through the noise a bit, give you a clear picture of what's going on with AI video and avatars right now.
Yeah, what can they actually do? What are the tricky parts, the limitations, and why should you care?
Right. Where do we even start? I guess the buzz online is a good indicator.
It seems like AI video generation is where a lot of the excitement is concentrated. That Reddit discussion about Kling 1.6 really captured that initial wow factor.
Oh yeah, people seem genuinely impressed. And someone even threw LTX Studio into the mix, suggesting it might be the next big thing for, like, longer stories with multiple shots.
Which points to where this is likely heading, right? Beyond just cool short clips to actual narrative filmmaking tools.
Definitely. And those comparisons we saw between Kling G 1.6 and the older 1.5 version, they really show the progress in concrete terms.
I do. It's not just abstract talk. You can see the difference side by side.
Take that smoothie bowl example they used, generating it just from text. With 1.6, it was like night and day, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The textures on the fruit, the lighting, it just looked real in 1.6. Much more depth.
And the camera movement felt smoother, more cinematic, compared to 1.5, which could be a bit jerky.
Yeah, jerky is a good word for it sometimes.
Yeah.
And 1.6 seemed much better at actually understanding and, well, following the prompt accurately.
It really nailed it. And you raised a good point earlier. This isn't just about looking pretty. It potentially lowers the barrier for creating really professional-looking video.
Which has huge implications, right? For creators, for businesses, maybe even for traditional video production roles.
For sure. And 1.6 seemed better with more complex instructions, too. Like someone walking into a room, then sitting down. It understood that sequence better.
Suggesting a better grasp of, I suppose, scene dynamics and actions unfolding over time.
Okay, so that was text to video. What about image to video? They tested that, too, with a cruise ship picture.
Right. And again, 1.6 generally produced smoother motion, the water, the sunlight reflections, just more convincing overall.
Although, did they mention something kind of funny? The ship was going backward in the 1.6 video.
Yeah, there was that slightly weird detail. It shows these tools aren't perfect. They still have quirks, even the best ones.
Good reminder. So Kling's making strides, but it's not the only game in town. The sources also brought up OpenAI's Sora.
Yeah, Sora is another big name causing waves. Its ability to work from text or images or even existing videos is pretty powerful.
That versatility is key. And it aims for consistency across frames, right? Plus, decent resolution up to 1080p for clips around 20 seconds.
Which is quite impressive, technically speaking. The underlying tech involves things like diffusion transformers.
Which is like starting blurry and getting clearer step by step.
Kinda, yeah. A way to generate complexity gradually. And they use patch-based processing, too, basically breaking the video into smaller chunks for the AI to manage.
Makes sense.
Eh.
But Sora has its own hurdles, according to the articles.
Oh, definitely. Keeping objects consistent throughout a scene can still be a struggle.
And complex motion, realistic physics, those are tough. Plus, really understanding very detailed prompts.
Right, and then there are the practical things. It needs a lot of computing power, you can't edit in real time, and that 20-second limit is, well, quite short for many uses.
So the tech is amazing, the progress is undeniable, but we're not quite at the point of, effortless Hollywood movie generation just yet.
Not quite. These limitations, especially around consistency and physics, are real challenges the field is still working on.
So, tying it back to that Reddit excitement, the enthusiasm is understandable, given the leaps we're seeing with Kling and Sora. But knowing the specifics, the current limitations, that gives you, the listener, a much more grounded view.
Exactly. It's about seeing both the incredible potential and the present-day realities.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit, from making videos to making virtual people AI avatars. That Kuso.ai article framed them as tools with a lot of potential uses.
Yeah, things like content creation, marketing, even customer support.
The appeal's obvious, I guess. You get a digital person, always available, consistent messaging.
Exactly. Businesses see it as a way to scale communication without the usual logistical headaches or costs of using real people for everything.
But the article was quick to point out the downsides, too. Authenticity is a big one, right? They can feel a bit robotic.
That's a major concern. If the avatar lacks that human touch, that genuineness, it can really create distance, especially in roles needing empathy, like support.
Yeah, does a robotic avatar really help if you're frustrated with a product? Could it make things worse?
It's a real risk. That lack of genuine connection could definitely backfire.
And customization can be an issue too. Sometimes you're stuck with templates that don't quite fit your brand.
Mm-hmm. Limited options can make it hard to stand out or truly represent your specific identity.
Plus, the tech isn't flawless. Glitches happen, processing can be slow. Practical stuff.
Right, and businesses need to think about the return on investment. Is it actually cost-effective? And is there a danger of relying too much on AI and losing that crucial personal connection with customers?
That's a big one. Okay, so challenges noted, but Quoso.ai also suggested ways to tackle them.
Yeah, they offered some practical advice like really lean into customization options to make your avatar unique.
And be super careful about cultural sensitivity. Check the output, maybe have humans review drafts.
Crucial steps. Human oversight seems key, both for catching errors and avoiding unintended biases or insensitivities that might creep in from the training data.
They also mentioned having backup plans for tech problems, thinking strategically about where avatars fit best.
And finding that balance. Don't just replace all human interaction. Use AI when it makes sense. Keep humans where connection matters most.
Makes sense. Be transparent too, right? Let people know if they're talking to an AI.
Absolutely. Transparency is vital for building trust.
So if someone wanted to try Quoso.ai's AI influencer tool, the process sounded pretty simple.
Yeah, log in, pick an avatar, choose a language, give it a script, or even have the AI write one based on a prompt.
And generate the video. Then you can edit, add captions, download it. Seems quite user-friendly.
Definitely. These platforms are getting more accessible, which is opening doors for more creators.
And HeyGen is another big platform doing this. Their guide laid out, 3 different ways to create an avatar?
That's right. 3 paths, depending on what you need and how realistic you want it to be.
First was the hyper-realistic avatar. You upload a short video of yourself.
In about 2 minutes, yeah.
And it tries to make a really lifelike copy appearance, movement, voice, lip sync. They even have an identity check for that one.
Which makes sense, given how realistic it aims to be. That's for when you want a true digital double.
Then there's the custom photo avatar. You upload photos instead of video.
10 to 15 photos, I think it was.
And it builds an avatar based on those images. Looks realistic, but the movement and voice are AI generated.
So it captures your likeness visually, but animates it with AI. A bit less intensive than the video method, probably more accessible for many.
And the third option sounded really interesting, creating an avatar just from a text prompt.
Yeah, that's for generating completely fictional characters, basically. You just describe who you want.
No photos, no video needed. That opens up a lot of creative possibilities, doesn't it?
Totally. Imagine creating mascots or characters for stories just by describing them.
And HeyGen lets you generate extra looks for any avatar using text prompts too. Different outfits, backgrounds, poses.
Mm-hmm. So you create the base avatar, then customize its appearance for different situations just by typing. Very flexible.
They even have a guide on writing good prompts for that, which sounds useful across the board for AI image stuff.
Definitely. Good prompting is key to getting what you want from these AI tools.
The guide stressed being structured. Image type, subject, background style. And being specific about mood, lighting, angle, all that detail.
The more specific you are, the better the AI understands your vision. It's about clear communication with the machine.
So even without a camera, you could potentially create fictional avatars and endless variations just with text prompts on HeyGen. Pretty powerful.
It really shows how far the text-to-image and now text-to-avatar tech has come. They also mentioned motion avatars, but we didn't get much detail on those from our sources.
Okay, let's pull back again. All this video and avatar stuff runs on some pretty powerful underlying AI, right? Like Google's latest Gemini model.
Exactly. Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental, they're calling it, positioned as a highly capable thinking model.
Supposedly topping leaderboards like Elmarina for reasoning and coding skills.
Which suggests significant improvements in its ability to, well, understand and work through complex problems, not just pattern match.
And it has a massive context window. 1 million tokens now, aiming for 2 million soon. Plus, it's multimodal.
That huge context window means it can hold and process vastly more information at once, longer documents, complex conversations. And being multimodal means it understands different types of data, like text, images, audio.
Which is super relevant for video generation, right?
Right.
It could understand the text prompt and analyze related images or video clips simultaneously.
Potentially leading to much richer, more context-aware generated content.
Yes. And speaking of handling lots of info, Google's NotebookLM tool has that new mind maps feature. That caught my eye.
Mine too. It tackles a really common problem.
Yeah.
How do you make sense of information scattered across lots of notes or documents?
So it basically reads your uploaded notes
Uses the Gemini AI to figure out the main ideas and how they relate.
and then draws you a visual map, a branching diagram showing the connections.
Exactly. A hierarchical structure of nodes automatically generated from your content.
That sounds incredibly useful for research or just understanding complex topics.
It really does. It helps you see the structure and relationships in the information visually.
And each point on the map links back to the original text, so you can check the source.
Yeah, that traceability is built in. Plus, it can apparently spot connections, maybe even contradictions, between different source documents you've uploaded.
Wow. And it's interactive. You can click on parts of the map.
You can expand nodes to see more detail. And if you click a node, it triggers the Q&A function. The AI pulls relevant info about that concept from your sources into the chat panel.
So the map isn't just static. It's like an interface to explore your notes.
Precisely. A dynamic way to navigate and query your own information.
How does it compare to other tools? The articles mention Notion, Obsidian.
It seems NotebookLM's unique angle is that AI-driven automatic mind map generation specifically from your uploaded sources. Other tools might require more manual linking or offer different kinds of knowledge graphs, but maybe not this specific AI visualization focused on your documents.
Gotcha. And using it sounds simple. Upload sources, click Mind Map in the chat panel.
Seems to be the process, yeah. They mentioned it was rolling out around late March 2025.
This really feels like a direct answer to that need we all have sometimes to quickly get a handle on a bunch of complex material.
I agree. Tools like this offer a real shortcut for synthesis and understanding, especially when you're dealing with information overload.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. We've seen AI video getting much better, more cinematic with tools like Kling 1.6, more versatile with Sora.
Though still facing challenges with things like consistency and length.
Right. And AI avatars are becoming more customizable and accessible on platforms like Quoso.ai and HeyGen, offering different levels of realism.
But raising important questions about authenticity, bias, and the need for human oversight and transparency.
Underneath it all, we have incredibly powerful models like Gemini getting smarter.
And tools like NotebookLM's mind maps emerging to help us organize and understand all the information these systems process and generate.
It feels like these technologies offer genuine shortcuts to making impressive content, to getting informed faster.
They absolutely do. But, as we've discussed, they come with limitations, ethical considerations, and practical hurdles we still need to navigate.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you, the listener, to mull over. As AI keeps blurring this line between what's real and what's digitally created, how do we ensure we're using these amazing tools responsibly?
And what new ways of communicating or even understanding the world might emerge as these technologies continue to evolve? It's definitely something to keep thinking about.